Straighten up that accuracy as the years go by. Beautiful kick of the footy, and again, we're talking a lot about the young players, but another exciting sign for the Saints.
So we talked about Jack McRae, Jack Billings, as Nick Riewoldt leads this outfit onto this stadium where he's played so much, and fittingly Lenny's the man that leads them on.
Yeah, why not? Lenny Hayes, what a champion. 294 games today, and he's still playing as well as he's ever played. Just a great person, great player.
Raw says it all, Lingy.
Yeah, the Saints fans just love him. And why wouldn't you? I mean, watching some of his highlights of him tackling, him winning contested ball, you knew whenever you played against Lenny Hayes, you were in for a game of footy because he was just hard as nails and played to win.
Well, he's been an outstanding player since game one in 1999, and more importantly, he's just a magnificent human, a wonderful fella. Bounce coming up next.
Struggled for much of the season. Riewoldt and Dennis Lane were both finding out, and it was Riewoldt who got to it first.
Now this will get back to workable. 28 points. Riewoldt makes no mistake, and the Saints get another one.
Nick kick, well done, Nick's got it. That was good stuff, good transition.
Running, he is charging into the forward 50. Fell back for Nick Riewoldt. Oh, that's a brilliant goal. Nothing but Nick.
So Stanley long and like Riewoldt. Centering ball for Riewoldt.
Virtually into the open goal, and the skipper delivers.
Off the hands of the pack. Billings can't get it. Riewoldt and kicks the goal. Yes! What a start!
Lenny Hayes is the embodiment of what St Kilda would like to stand for.
Hayes again. Trying to lift his team, and that will lift morale.
His commitment over 16 seasons ranks him as one of the great players of any era.
Oh, ferocious stuff, Lenny Hayes. And Jack Stevens salutes with a goal, and they all go to Lenny.
On every stage, the 2010 Norm Smith medalist has performed at his best.
He's pumped it long, he's kicked the goal.
Today is St Kilda's last home game in what Lenny has declared his final season. Like Robert Harvey, he bows out without a premiership, but with universal admiration.
Hayes, he's done this before. Bang! He's a beauty, Lenny is.
In his 35th year, he continues to put his body on the line for the sake of the team. Today, the young Saints come up against the Bulldog Pups, both clubs looking to the future.
Billings another.
Oh, yes, sir. Luke Dalhouse.
Both have a smattering of champions, leaders who continue to give their utmost for the Guernsey. For Lenny Hayes, today's final home game will be like every other he's played.
Hayes through the traffic.
He'll give everything he has.
Beautiful round one, round two. Lenny Hayes, you star.
Round 20 Sunday football, St Kilda and the Western Bulldogs, and Jude Bolton is down on the boundary. You lined up on Lenny Hayes a few times too, Jude, didn't you?
Yes, Dan, played a lot of footy on Lenny Hayes. Just absolutely love the man. He's just such an honest, really hard-working player, an absolute superstar. We'll certainly have the I Love Lenny shirts out today. It's beautiful conditions down here, but just to make a special day for Lenny Hayes, the Saints need to get the win. They need to put someone like a Curran to Jack McRae and look at maybe an Armitage just on Libba around the ball. Make sure they stop their ball winners.
Bolts, don't think that you're running away with that T-shirt. I want that I Love Lenny T-shirt. That better come back up here.
All right, mate, it's nice and warm. It's nice and warm.
Fair bit of love around the place, Dan, at the moment. Lingy and I were in a lift with a couple of Saints fans, and I just commented, raining outside. Lady said, that's just God upset Lenny's retiring.
Well, Cameron, Jude, it seems to me you and I are the only two never to play on Lenny Hayes. Everybody else here has played on him.
He's played a lot of footy, Dan.
294 games.
Yeah, what a great player. But I tell you what, Brendan McCartney said it. He loves Lenny Hayes, but he will not be letting him have a free rein today. I reckon they'll put time into him and not let him get up and about, not let him lift his St Kilda team. So I'm expecting a bit of attention being put into Lenny right from the start. They've started with Picken in the centre bounce. He's just leaving now, so it looks like he might have the job on Joey Montagna rather than Lenny Hayes. But I reckon they'll have somebody with a real balance on Hayes to not let him be that inspirational player that he's been for so long.
Saints won the toss. They're headed to the left. That's the Lockett end, fittingly. And away we go on a Sunday afternoon odyssey. Stephen at close quarters. Weller fell over. Hand passes forward. Taken by Liberatore. Well played by Hayes. Anticlimactic. Griffin's got it. Goes short towards the outer side. And Boyd, another veteran on the stretch, takes the mark. So much youth in both these clubs. But, of course, the glue, still the veterans. Goes out wide. Liberatore. Had another good season, Liberatore. Long inside the forward 50. Campbell got under it. Clattering of bodies. Marcus Parks to Fisher, and Fisher goes short to the pocket and Armitage.
So Fisher, fourth game back after missing so much football. And Gilbert, he hasn't seen too much of it at all this league. Nothing since round 3.
Yeah, with a bad foot injury, so it's so good to have him back for the St Kilda team. You mentioned Fisher, you mentioned Gilbert. They were important in those grand final teams.
Stanley at full stretch, starting to emerge as a player. Back inside to Schneider, and now the run of Weller. Well, Bruce is on and alone. Roughhead gets back, but Revolt pleads for it at the top of the square. So Bruce didn't quite hit it as he would have liked. The delivery to the skipper, unkind.
Throw it in.
Fair to say he's had better service in other seasons, Nick Revolt, Lingy, but he continues to battle, and his form individually has been superb again.
43 goals, what a champion.
Cooney just tries to get through Stephen, lost it in the end. Curran stole the ball, went back, and Weller can pick up Gilbert. Had it a couple of times already. The handball to Hayes. How quick was he? He's been quick since day dot. Long ball, Revolt again. Delivery very difficult. Perhaps Nunes gets the first of the afternoon. He does. Quick finish. Good snap.
Just a bit of a mistake in the air from the Bulldogs. Not enough communication. They needed to take that one, but terrific finish by Jack Nunes. Great start by the Saints.
Early goal then. St Kilda's way. Good bounce back in the middle. Longer on the way down. Almost touched it. Down goes Hayes. Bontempelli, the contrast right there. Launches a long kick down towards full forward. And his teammate Campbell knew his capabilities better than the defender. And was marked about 15 metres out. That was a thumping kick.
It was a beautiful kick, wasn't it, Dennis? Just gave it to Campbell, to his advantage side. Really deep, long kick there from Bontempelli. Meant that no St Kilda defender could come back and help. And he held his ground well. Terrific mark.
Campbell point-blank range then to level the scores. Enterprising start to the game. It's a goal apiece at Etihad on a Sunday.
Bring it back. Will, I'll let you know when to go. Wait, Will.
Well, this free kick is going to Will Minson in the middle. It's against Maverick Weller. High contact as the ball was going back to the centre. It's a bit of a mistake there from Weller. Dogs have got another chance to pump the ball inside forward 50.
So that's at the point of the free kick. It happened in the centre square, did it, Cam? I didn't see it.
It did, yes.
Okay.
Yours.
Boyd quickly, some tall timber to work with. Front spot, Stringer at the back. Crammery gets onto his favoured left and somehow gets boot to ball. Picken, perhaps the second for the Dogs. Clever stuff. It was only a half chance. He had to be quickly, but the half volley, good enough.
Yeah, great work by Liam Picken. We're going to have a look at the incident now. Weller on Liberatore and then Minson. Gee, I don't know, that's just a bit of pushing and shoving, isn't it? It hardly seemed high.
If that had been Lenny, there's no free kick.
He would have been applauded.
Well, that's terrible.
Oh, that one would frustrate Alan Richardson no end. Does not appear to be a free kick at all.
I think Maverick had broken the hole too. He was just passive, wasn't he? Apparently not. So, spate of goals. Back in the middle. Dogs lead. Longer, backhanded. Minson, Griffin, down towards half forward. Oh, clever mark, Dempster. Got rid of his opponent and still had the wherewithal to go back and find the footy. Gwilt, little short one. There's Fisher. Missed a lot of the season, comes out wide. Bruce, he's a likely type, Bruce. He's got it on the wing. Fisher wants it back short. He ignores that. Revolt probably the prime target. Well, he's not there. He goes all the way back and finds Dempster.
You see the players getting involved in the back for St Kilda. Dempster, Fisher, Gwilt, and of course, I've gone Gilbert is such experience down the back line there. That's the way St Kilda have set it up. They've got experience down back, bit of youth through the middle and a bit of youth up forward.
Rovat stopped the Saints, and perhaps another goal coming if Bontempelli can get hold of it, hits some hands and just skips through. Just on Dempster, premiership player with you in his first year. He seems the ultimate professional.
Yeah, he's just an unbelievable workhorse. He's really transformed his game, and when he was at Sydney, he probably was a bit robotic in the fact that he'd follow his direct opponent right around. Now he's just such a good intercept mark.
Boundary throw in, Longa's in front, directs it down into the path of Stringer. The Dogs have got their third goal.
Well, Stringer has become a goal kicker. His partner, Abby Gilmore, she's due with her first child any moment now, and literally, Lingy, any moment.
He might have to be subbed off at some stage today.
Well, here come the Dogs again. Cooney sweeps the handball wide. Rovat, who was instrumental in that last goal, stopped the Saints from running out of defence, goes back wide to Cooney, contemplates, little kick might just work out. Picken already kicked a brilliant goal, back into the hands of Boyd, and Bontempelli the target. Boundary line will win the day. Just with Abby Gilmore, knowing wives and first children and late into pregnancies, she won't be a happy Gilmore.
No, she certainly won't. But I'll tell you one thing that'll make Dogs fans happy. You're seeing Adam Cooney move like that through a stoppage. Great roving by him, and he's on the move.
Well, Longer and Minson wrap each other up. Umpire lets it roll. Montagna has the ball ricochet off his chest, back to Cooney. Handball to a bit of space. Who gets there first? Bontempelli slides in, and then just handballs to green grass, and Gilbert's the first man there for the Saints. The old dog gets a few boos in Farron Ray. And Roughhead and Bruce. Roughhead will give cover for Morris. Hemmed in against the boundary line. They'll get it back here, the Saints.
Not the greatest kick there by Morris. There's good pressure around the ball, but gee, the Dogs look sharp. They're winning the ball through the middle. They're defending really well. They are very, very sharp.
Armitage gets it back from Hayes. Drives it beyond the wing. From behind. Austin up very early.
Unrealistic. No. Simultaneous whistle. Nick Rewalt.
Rewalt's going to get the free kick, and lucky that wasn't 50.
I can't grab it. Where you are. Unrealistic, mate.
Saying an unrealistic attempt. Probably just mistimed it more than unrealistic, but Nick Rewalt, free kick. He gets St Kilda forward and gets something going for the Saints.
As Montagna wheels around inside the centre square, probing kick to the opposite side of the ground. In front, Cooney got back and did well. Rovat lost the footy, found it again on the defensive 50, goes with the outside of the boot, wandering back and doing very well. Eastonwood takes the mark. They were bearing down. He looks towards the middle. That's another good kick. Centimetre perfect. Taken by Griffin, slips a hand pass away. Now a chance for Dalhouse, and Dalhouse going at the fourth. Misses to the right-hand side. Oh, this is very exciting stuff.
Well, you called it, Dan. That kick from Eastonwood was a really important one. Prepared to take a risk turning the ball over, gave them the shot at goal, and gee, I would have put that one down as a goal for Dalhouse every day of the week.
Just going back to the unrealistic Mark Austin mark, was Jeremy Howe. I assume the umpire would have said, next time, Jeremy.
Yeah, it depends on your expectations, doesn't it?
Boys, one of the matchups here, we're waiting to see Tom Curran come back on when Bob Murphy comes on. Bob's in for a tough day at the office. He hasn't touched the ball yet.
So Fisher, massive part of this Saints outfit for so long. A welcome inclusion over the last month. Seemingly his body is looking after him a little better now. Ray, it's tough kick. Had to be perfect over the top to Rewalt. Wasn't Morris. Did enough. And now Stringer. Contemplates. Long. Campbell goes back with a flight. He's a big, imposing figure. Couldn't quite take it. Well, Rovat gets wrapped up underneath all of that.
The Bulldogs can't fall in love with just kicking the ball in long, because St Kilda defenders are just starting to sag off a little bit, getting numbers back. They're getting a lot of inside 50s, the Dogs, but they're not getting effective ones at the moment.
Ray, Fisher and Ross all combined last line stuff for St Kilda. And now Rewalt, as he so often does, finds himself on the wing, and as so often he does, takes a clean grab and he sets the Saints away.
Real chance now. Gilbert back in the team. Looks from 50, lowered the eyes, and Curran turns around and kicks the easiest of goals.
Well, unbelievably on a footy field. How does somebody get in that sort of space? I don't know. Gilbert over the top to Curran. St Kilda actually dominating the uncontested possession count at the moment. You can see it there, 29-12. The Dogs need to fix that up in a hurry.
Jude Bolton with Sam Fisher.
Plenty of uncontested footy.
Yeah, a little bit through the middle. That centre breaks are going their way a bit. Felt like we're under pressure down in defence. A little bit too much room on the D50 stoppage. Allowed an easy goal, so we need to tighten up a bit there. Good to see we got one back there, though.
Well, heavy breathing on the outer side. And heavy traffic that Ross needs to contemplate. Suddenly, Bruce reads it well, snaps, and he's got another for the Saints. Clever stuff. Again, Lee, just a half chance, knew where the goals were. Really clever finish.
Yeah, he's been good, Josh Bruce, since he's gone forward. He's a big unit, 196 centimetres, 95 kilos. And you're right, it was only half a chance. Only had a fraction in a second, but kicked the goal and absolutely loved it. Well done to the Saints. It looked like the Doggies were all over them early on, but they've fought back well. They're getting that run going. Bulldogs are just giving them too much room, and St Kilda are transitioning the ball very, very easily, and it's making it hard for those Bulldogs defenders.
Dogs lead by a point then. We've played 7.5 minutes of actual playing time. 6 goals. It's a treat.
Free kick in the circle, ready to bounce.
Jack Stephen just losing his GPS there and going inside the circle. And of course that's a free kick. Minson goes down towards half court. Not his best effort. Ball kick. Nunes, who kicked the opening goal of the game, goes out wide. More space. Billings runs onto the loose ball. He's a left footer. What'll he do here? Well, he gets it off, feeds it forward. He was very, very non-committal about that right boot. Got it back. Goes looking for his captain. Weller swoops on a loose ball. Hayes running out of space, knew where the help was. Run down is Schneider. Getting there quickly, Dalhouse. And the ball is jarred out of bounds. And that's a bad sign for Jack Billings. Has to be prepared to kick with his right and do better than that.
Well, don't they always say, Den, that left footers don't have a right foot? Jack Billings is going to have to work out if he's got one and use it, because you don't have enough time sometimes to get onto your preferred foot. But much better pressure by the Bulldogs there.
Going back, Gilbert. Chopping the arms. I think it was Best in Show, that movie, Den, when the husband had 2 right feet. Jack Billings has 2 left. Good movie.
Stars.
Schneider, he loves his left boot. If he sold his boots at the end of his career, the right would be hardly used.
I think Schneider is one who doesn't have a right foot. He loves his left foot.
So from left to left to left, Schneider to Ross to Gilbert. They know what we're talking about down there, Den.
Yes. It's hard to factor that in, isn't it? That's organisation by the broadcasters. Get them to do it, they respond to our every wish. So, back to a righty. Dempster, beautiful kick. Schneider just had to slow down ever so slightly. Lays it off. Gilbert, he's figuring prominently. Searching kick inside the forward 50. Getting hands to it down there. Curran spills behind. Wood's got company. Arriving quickly, Stephen. Bounces across to Boyd. Goes back to Wood. He just jams it on the boot effectively enough, though. Bounces obligingly for Crameri. Crameri inside to Higgins. Back to Crameri. He breaks towards the wing. Nice kick to Liberatore. How about this footy we're watching at the moment? Bontempelli doesn't look quick, but he is. Goes inside the forward 50. Cooney won the battle of hands there with Savage. Stayed on his feet and will kick a goal from 30.
Well done, Adam Cooney. We highlighted him before the game. Bontempelli, great run through the middle, but Cooney's had the 4 disposals coming up for number 5. Shot at goal. 4 of those have been contested. He would have been dirty on himself with his last couple of weeks, but he's a champion. He wants to make sure he lifts, and he started exactly that way.
And Bontempelli, very impressive through midfield. Schneider was within touch, and suddenly he was out of reach, Bontempelli. Says 2 things, I suppose. There's Cooney. Kick is on the way. And it's straight. What a start to this game.
We just see the quick transfer of play here, and Bontempelli, just a lovely kick out in front. And here's Cooney, just strong body work. He's getting plenty of the foot. He's had 5 possessions already, and Griffin's had 5 as well.
So Bontempelli, the beautiful mover, puts it into the hands of Cooney. He kicks the goal. Griffin gets it out of the middle, and not too slick in the end for Rovat. But Den made the comment during the call, doesn't look fast, but is.
Yeah, he's a beautiful mover, Bontempelli. We highlighted the fact he's a big unit. He's 192 centimetres and 89 kilos, but he's also quick, and that's why he's going to be an absolute handful when he gets a bit older and fills out even more. A free kick here to the Saints at the stoppage against big Tommy Campbell.
So Longo, who dominated in the NEAFL last year, had limited opportunities with the Leuenberg around the place. Finds himself a St. Montagna. Ray, well, he wanted Ross in the end. He just got held up and missed him. He knew what he wanted to do, but the defence was okay from the Dogs and forced the error.
Well, important now for the Bulldogs that they set this up really well. They've given up a couple of goals just with half chances in their forward 50. They need to make sure they nail this stoppage. Don't cost themselves another goal by defending poorly.
Campbell this time wins it out, Liberatore. Well, Rovat just had his handball intercepted in the end, and Stephen onto that left boot. Hot kick forward, bounces, should be okay for Morris. The bounce is kind. And Morris, as he's done for years in those colours, on the last line, gets them out of trouble.
So it's only a little thing, but just seeing Nick Riewoldt work hard there to just put that little bit of pressure on Dale Morris, just get a hand in to affect the kick. Otherwise, Morris was going to be able to hit his Bulldogs teammate, and they were going to be away. Instead, they've got a boundary throw in. The Saints have got another chance to score.
The two big Bulls, shoulder to shoulder they go. No real win out the back. Darley very cleverly to Cooney. And then Stevens over the top to Griffin. The Dogs have got some pace through the middle. Who have they got forward? Higgins. He's got Stringer as an option, and he was the only option. Cramery, we know he's got some toes. Stringer, the kick, it's weighted, and it's weighted perfectly to Cramery. Play on, another to the Dogs. They're fifth.
Oh. This is why Jake Stringer was a high draft pick. The clever use of the body, first of all, there to take the mark uncontested. But just a beautiful kick over the top to Stewie Cramery. That had to be perfect, otherwise Gwilt would have got the spoil in. Great play by Stringer.
Dogs by 13 points then. After the bounce, comes to Cooney. Rovat getting plenty of the footy down towards half forward. Up, dropping the mark in front. Nunes battles on. One Dog opposed to 4 Saints. Whistle and the ball up. Dalhouse
Thanks, guys.
at the base of that pack. Relishes those odds.
Straight out behind, separate.
31 plays 18. Roof is closed. With the run, Hayes third man up. Knocked it straight though to Rovat. Gave it across to support. The kick not particularly good from Stringer. Nunes grabs it. Kicks it back towards the outer side wing. Bounces on its point. Stanley at full reach. Knocked it down. In trouble out there is Darley. A few of them in trouble. That ball not coming out quickly. Peck and met solidly by Hayes. Knocked out of there by Liberatore. Rovat did well. Well, initially, Nunes gets back.
So Nunes perhaps gets the Saints forward again. Ray just gets held up, and then the quick ball back to Ross finds Gilbert, who'll wheel onto that left boot. Well, a little disappointing in the end. Cramery just got to pour onto it. Good stuff from Fisher. Knocked it wide to Bruce. He'll want his left boot too. Again, ugly sort of disposal. Liberatore did well. Ugly bounce, kept it in front of him. And now to Darley. He can repel again. To the wing it goes. Stringer will get in position to Crum. Gilbert favoured by the punch. Well, Stringer, second effort was terrific, and then Cooney swoops. Picks it up over the top. Rovat. He'll have Dalhouse running. A one-on-one. Dempster v Dalhouse ignored for the moment.
Rovat back towards the middle then. It opens up for them. 3 Dogs alongside each other. Cramery got it from Pickin. Driving kick inside the forward 50. Free kick. I think they'll go to Dalhouse. Here's the man in front.
We look again at this free kick here. Just dragged him down. It was clever by Dalhouse. He engaged the contact. I think initially he was doing it to protect his teammate Campbell, but drew the free kick as well. That's why he's so dangerous, because he's so smart.
That's it.
He's got a true footballer's brain. Every time he's around the contest, he's a chance to get a hold of it. And we know how good he is in front of goal.
Dempster a bit stiff there, looking back at the football over his left shoulder. And didn't realise that Dalhouse had hit the brakes. Clever by Dalhouse, and he comes. Well, that's not in keeping with the afternoon.
Just pumped him up too, Dan.
Poor kick, eh? But still, we've been spoiled so far. The margin is 14. 5-2 plays 3 straight.
Bolts, we're all Jack McRae fans in his second season of footy. Hasn't touched the footy yet. Have you been keeping an eye on him? What are St Kilda doing with him?
Yeah, he started on the wing just before and had Farron Ray running alongside him before, but Yeah, he hasn't reached his numbers as yet. He hasn't touched the footy, and certainly he's been averaging 27 disposals this year. He's just an out-and-out star. I really love the hit-up, I guess, McCartney gave him early on the year. I think that really sparked him. He's going to grab his rest now and then come back on.
So McRae hasn't seen it, but Lingy, Sam Gilbert on return has been prolific.
Yeah, he's had the 9 possessions, which is, we touched on how important he is. The other one, Adam Cooney, has had 8 disposals so far, and that's more than he had in any of the last 2 games. So good to see Coons back and firing.
Armitage takes a risk. It's not going to come off. Murphy, terrific, stood up in the tackle, got it off to Cramry. He was tackled too. It was good by Gilbert. Ball dislodged. Now Schneider. Where to next? Well, in between Stanley and Bruce is the answer to that. A couple of bounces. Can he keep it in? He can. He might get it back. Pressure good from Roughhead.
Isn't there a Stanley Bruce highway home somewhere there? As they both went for the ball there, Stanley and Bruce. I thought you were going to use that.
Not quick enough, Lingy. Where is it?
Isn't it South Australia? You're a South Australia boy.
There's Bruce when you need him. It's knocked out in front.
Where's Josh?
It's a hand pass off to Liberatore. Thought about giving it back inside, then checks and kicks beyond the wing. It's 2-on-1 here. Campbell takes the mark. Untidy hand pass. Picken falls over. The moment, though, still with them. Chance for Stringer. Split the indifference. That was amazing. Just went between them, running towards goal. Wilt missed him. Stringer continues to run and kicks the goal.
What about this from Jake Stringer? Just the belief to take the game on, then back his speed on Gwilt, and the composure after a run like that to finish it off and dribble it through. And don't the Doggies fans love it?
Just getting back to Stanley Bruce, Lingy, just highlighting my political ignorance. 8th Prime Minister of Australia, not sure where the highway is.
Well, he should.
I didn't know he was a Prime Minister either, Hayes.
You didn't know he was the Prime Minister, neither did I. I also didn't know there was a highway.
Good tackle, no prior.
Two disappointed parents out there. Apologies to both of them.
Block against Will Minson. St.Kilda kick, straight arm block.
Well, they need one late, Lingy, in this first term.
Yeah, they do. The Saints have been good in patches. Joey Montagna's given away a free kick here, pushing off Liam Picken. It could be very, very costly late this quarter.
So Picken to a man with run, just gets held up. Back to Picken it goes. And, well, Campbell's got the height against Gwilt. Gwilt stood his ground, did a good job. Dalhouse just crumbs pretty well, gets tackled. Dempster was terrific and needed to be.
Come on, boys, let it go. Free kick, St.Kilda.
Yeah, well done, Sean Dempster. Saved them there. Dalhouse was on the move. I thought he was going to break that tackle and get away, but he held on for dear life. Really good tackle. Probably saved his old mate Joey Montagna there too for giving away the free kick.
Absolutely. Longer just tries to break free.
And now it's gone the other way. It's against Pickett. There's a bit going on between these two. Bit of fun and games. We always love that on a Sunday afternoon.
The noise in the house as well. Very pro St Kilda crowd, their home game, the tribute game to Lenny Hayes. Well, Revolt again, Dan, with those very safe hands.
Play on, he's around, play on.
Wonderful player. 43 goals for this season. Just 12 off the Coleman medal. The place being made by Jared Roughhead. That was a nice pass too.
1 metre.
Stanley finds himself with a man on the mark right on the 50. Biggest first term of the season for the Western Bulldogs. Pulsating start. Trading goals early. Dogs pulling away late.
You're on it now, Will.
Up by 20.
15 goals. So these two, 15 seconds.
So Stanley just to the right of the Mundy line. It's a powerful kick. Well, it's powerful, but it's well offline. Sneaks through for a behind. So the margin is 19.
Hey, I've just had a very disappointed parent text me. My dad said that the Bruce Highway is in Queensland, nowhere near South Australia.
Oh. We need to do some work during the week to win ourselves back into favour. The Dogs at the moment by a touch over 3 goals with time to go again. Rovat inside to Roughhead, who didn't have to break stride, and he's got a man one-on-one. Dalhouse, the kick didn't favour him. Dempster gets in front. Dalhouse comes again, ends up with the football. To the top of the square, clever kick. Cramry's on the right side for the left footer. Dalhouse, we spoke about him pre-game. He's industrious. He's very good with the second effort. Never loses his feet or his balance or seemingly his poise.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with his couple of shots at goal today, but apart from that, everything he's done has been creative. And just the composure there to pull the ball across his body and give it to Crameri. Well done.
So the leading goal scorer for the Bombers, 3 years on the trot, just puts it offline.
It's been good this year, though, Crameri. Had to kick the 28 goals, given them a target. I think Campbell's also added a lot there. Hear the umpire there, touched off the boot. Doggy's a chance again.
Roughhead, Darley. Murphy just gets away. Darley, they're going backwards. Austin with the outside of the boot. Minson set a task. Longer reaching over the top, interfered with it. I guess it's there, barely. Minson. Cooney, 50. Oh, gee whiz. These umpires trying to work out who's got the loudest whistle, I think.
Gee, I feel for him there. I thought that was under 15 and was going to be called play on as well. I think you've got to give a little bit of leeway.
Yep.
Come on, let it go. Come on, boys. Hey. Let it go. Come on.
So how many free kicks have we had? It seems we've had quite a few, 11 so far.
This will be his 7th contested possession, 11th possession all up.
Where we are.
You'd expect him to boot this. Adam Cooney for a big break for the Western Bulldogs. Just over a minute out from quarter time. He's got 2. And suddenly it's ominous for the Saints. 45 plays 19. Back-to-back free kicks.
Well, you never write off a champion. He's had 11 disposals. Bolts just said he's had 7 contested possessions. He's kicked 2 goals. He's had 2 clearances. He did have an ordinary couple of weeks the last 2 weeks, but Adam Cooney is a star. He's a Brownlow medalist. We look again at the 50-metre penalty.
50. You grabbed him.
Sounds of the game from Etihad Stadium.
I reckon that's harsh, Dan. I reckon that was not even close to 15, and I reckon you just got to be a bit of common sense there and say, you know what, I'll just pull you back, Mark's here, get on with the game.
So the Dogs have got 7 and they've got the last 4, not exactly reading the Lenny Hayes script. Crameri, perhaps another, perhaps an 8th. No. So the first to the Saints, the next 3 to the Dogs, a couple to the Saints, but since the 16-minute mark of this first term, the last 4 to the Dogs.
And it's all starting in the clearances, home. 14-6. The Bulldogs up in clearances. St Kilda got to get their hands on the footy in the middle of the ground.
Gilbert, another possession. Kicked it as far as the wing, but it's coming back. Austin got it from McRae, close to the boundary line. This is Campbell. Wheels around the big fellow. Sends it long down towards full forward. Crameri lurking off the pack, coming back with courage. Fisher able to get to his feet, if you don't mind, and just pops it across to Gwilt. Dying seconds of the term now. Gwilt to Revolt. All hands on deck. The champs back deep in defence, realising they can concede no more. Margin 27 points. Revolt on the siren. What an entertaining term it was. 10 goals to start proceedings. Western Bulldogs getting the best of it. There's 7-4, St Kilda 3-1 on Sunday afternoon footy.
As Lenny mentioned, 14-6. They need to get their hands on the footy around the ball. Just tighten it up right now.
Well, you're never going to win a game of footy if you concede 20 inside 50s to the opposition. St Kilda, they've got to defend better across the entire ground. They've got to stop the ball getting in there. It's easy to say that the defenders have got to defend better, but when the ball's in there 20 times, gee, it makes it tough. So that's a huge number. Saints have got to fix that one up straight away.
First chapter in the book, 10 goals in the opening term. Second underway, Minson. It's beaten by Longer, but the Dogs still might get first.
Holding Lenny Hayes.
Holding Lenny Hayes.
Well, a cheer goes up around the ground for Lenny. He'll end with 297 games if he stays fit for the rest of the year. And how often has that happened? Hayes to Revolt.
Oh, this bloke is a champion, isn't he? That's a great grab.
Well, plenty of chat from the umpires, plenty of whistles. Nothing doing, though. Bruce, back he goes. Curran to Stephen, who takes on Pick, and the Bulldog does a good job. Held him. Umpire said, play on. Ling, you signal holding the ball up in the commentary box, and
it looked like holding the ball
days
to
gone
me.
by.
It was a good tackle by Picken. We know that's what he does so well. He looks like he's got the job now, and Jack Stephen may have moved off Joey Montagna for the time being. Montagna on the bench. We'll see if he comes straight back to Montagna when Montagna comes onto the ground. At the moment, the Bulldogs winning all the matchups, though.
Tom, thank you.
So free kick to Armitage after all of that madness, and a liberatory charges at him after the umpire calls play on. Minson doing the roving work, did a good job of it too. Put into the hands of Griffin, who rides the tackle back to Darley. Darley's kick pretty ordinary.
St Kilda's got to find a way. There are numbers galore inside their forward 50 now, but they've got to find a way just to hit a target, be smart with their ball use, just not kick it back to the Bulldogs' numbers. Looks like that's exactly what Savage is going to do, but they need crummers.
Sets it up, intended for Stanley, I'm sure. Slapped away at the last moment there by Minson. Standing up at a tackle was Stevens. Austin's kick was touched. Bounces out towards the wing. Wilt, nicely half-volleyed by Schneider, goes down the line. Savage, no room to manoeuvre. Another high ball in. They hold on this time. Well, the defence certainly got the numbers around there, and Revolt took a heavy fall. It's okay.
Thanks, I think it might have been Roughhead Dennis who just took Rewalt's body at the fly here. Or was it Dale Morris? Just using his momentum to get him forward, take him out of the marking contest. Clever play as the defender to do that. Don't let Rewalt run and jump at the ball.
Darley, after a chain of hand passes, Higgins gave him the ball. Cramerick gives it back to Darley, and he runs through the wing.
Onto that left of his, and again the tall timber chosen. This time Campbell beaten by a couple of Saints. Delaney goes and gets the football. Well, tried to get the football, ridden into the ground by Bontempelli. Umpire says continue on. Crameri back to Darley, this time on the right. Sliding was Higgins, trapped the football. Well, he gets caught in the end. Armitage didn't let him wriggle out. And Armitage holds it up. The Saints need the next.
And Armitage had to call Adam Schneider then to turn around as he handballed it. Schneider had no idea it was coming his way.
It turned his back on the play. Fisher to half forward. Can they build here? Weller contemplates, and then into the pocket he goes. Bruce fumbles. The kick was perfect.
I haven't seen that before where the guy actually does call out. I mean, too much of that could get you an interview with Haim on a Friday night, couldn't it? It's not what you expect to see on a Sunday afternoon. But anyhow, the thing is, Schneider heard it. Boundary throw in, hooking it down behind Longer. Stephen did well on his left foot. Armitage, now it's coming back. Not sure what happened to his kick. I think he missed, but doesn't matter. The whistle was early and strong, and so the free kick will be taken by Stephen.
It's for a push in the back then after Stephen got rid of the ball. Beautiful ruck work. You see Stephen get rid of it, and Ryan Griffin just landing in his back. Probably a little bit unlucky. It was more than momentum, but the free kick was there. Important now that Stephen slots this. Saints have started this second quarter positively. They need to hit the scoreboard.
He's had a bit of a lean spell too, hasn't he, Jack Stephen? Rushes in, sends it long. It's a fast approach and a beautiful kick to finish. His first goal, and the Saints needed it.
Well, they've started this quarter positively, the Saints. Great finish by Jack Stephen, kicking that goal, but it's got to start in this middle. Beaten badly in clearances in the first quarter. There's a free kick out of the Western Bulldogs' way. It's not going to help even up that clearance difference. Jack McRae it is to take the free kick.
Talk about the importance of mids kicking goals. Jack Stevens' first goal since round 15. Admittedly, he's missed a couple of games since then with injury. The Dogs go inside 50. Rovat sharks the football. He's kicked another. The Dogs, they answer quickly.
Look at this, Haim. This is just simple footy. Forwards contesting. Rovat getting where he should get as a small crummer. Front and centre. And then the composure to finish with a goal. And he enjoyed that one, Nathan Rovat. He certainly knows how to find it. He knows how to kick goals.
Minson barging around in there. Boyd lost it. Ross jumped into the waiting arms of Crameri. Well done by Weller to Gwilt to Montagna. Feeds it forward. Armitage stripped of the football. Well done by Wood. Now a chance on the outer side for Dalhouse. Spotted Wood. He's down and hurt. Meantime, Armitage has got the football. Goes past Rovat. Gave it to Gwilt. Now Fisher. And they're out. Sort of. Schneider's taken it in the back pocket, but there's nothing for him to kick to, so he holds up. Now he goes back towards the middle. Savage finding some good recent form. The former Hawk, Shane Savage, comes out to Billings, who's been very quiet, and he's at right half back.
Yeah, we pumped up Jack Billings and Jack McRae before the game. Billings only the 2 disposal, McRae only the 3. So those young guys just struggling to work their way into a game. But that's part of the learning experience. You're not going to have a massive game every game. You've just got to find a way to help your team.
So Revolt, the run continues, and now to Armitage. Took it cleanly down low to Billings, who's too far out, so quickly to the top of the square it goes. Well done in the end. Bontempelli all over the ground, doing a good job for the Dogs. Picken, beaten to the ball by Weller. Higgins has got it back to Bontempelli, who lost his feet momentarily. Ross, one of the 2-ins for the Saints, retreats, moonwalks, and then handballs over the top to Stephen. The last for the Saints, needs to set up the next for the Saints. Armitage back with a flight, fell in the hole, now needs to kick another goal.
Oh, fantastic kick inside there from Stephen. Low and flat, didn't put it high and allow the Bulldogs defenders time to work together. Look at that, just punched the kick in there. Hit Armitage, good mark going back there, Armitage, but that was a lovely kick. Gave him the best possible chance of marking that one.
So you mentioned they've started this term well, Cam, the Saints. 8-1 inside 50s. This for their second goal from the 8 entries. Armitage, he kicks, the umpire shuffles a little, and it's a disappointing result.
Yeah, it is a disappointing result. You mentioned those inside 50s. While they've got the momentum now, and they have turned it round from the first quarter, they've got to put scoreboard pressure on. The Bulldogs were able to do it in the first quarter, piling on the goals. St Kilda have got to return fire.
Higgins to the centre square, off hands, taken by Stevens. Goes down towards half forward. Stringer. Armitage has been busy in this term, already 6 possessions. Stringer goes down the line. Stevens chooses to let it bounce. Confronted by Gilbert. All the way back to Picken. Picken a high ball. Campbell did well. Worked in front, almost the mark. Spills to Stringer. He crumbed it and misses. Well, that deserved better. Campbell wanted front spot. Not always the case with the big fellas. Did the hard stuff, got his hands to it, and it came out.
He had a fair piece of it too. I thought he had that one.
To make myself look good.
High on! High on!
Well, Gwilt, the kick was highly ambitious, and Stephen just cuts it off. It was a kick that was low percentage, Lingy.
Yeah, he got himself in trouble just by playing on from the kick out, and then had nowhere to go. And I think the option there was maybe just the long one, the stock, and end up with a bit of a boundary throw in. He tried to pick off the perfect kick. Could cost him a goal.
So 12-6 for the year for Stevens coming into today. This for the Dogs. 9th of the afternoon, early going in the second term. He's offline. Just going back to that Armitage set shot. It's a tough assignment to wrestle back a 27, 28-point lead. It's not an afternoon where you can miss set shots from 30 out, call it directly in front.
No, not at all, Hame. It's not something that you need to do all at once, though. You don't need to kick 7 or 8 goals in 10 minutes. You just got to keep chipping away at it. But when you do get those chances, you get those set shots straight in front, you have to kick them. You need to start getting inside the Bulldogs players' heads and think, we're coming and we're coming back quickly.
Nunes to Delaney. Hard against the boundary line, right near the interchange gates. Goes back to the man who started that chain of events, Savage. Towards the middle, Nunes. Rovat did well, showed a lot of courage with the poise, though, and the balance. Nunes gave it to Montagna. Up to the wing. Hayes, Montagna. We've called that before. Hayes, pinpoint. Long has got it, the attacking side of centre wing. Stanley on the move. Kick goes in that direction. On the stretch, Roughhead couldn't take the mark. Breaking through is Stephen. On the 50. Pulls it back towards full forward. Revolt surrounded. And the mark is taken by Austin.
Yeah, it makes it difficult, doesn't it, Dan, when you've got 3 players dropping back on you there. Nick Rewalt's a champion. It's going to be almost impossible to beat 3 blokes in the air.
He was given no wriggle room at all. Roughhead has to escape a couple of Saints himself. Does a terrific job of now picking under pressure. Gilbert the tackler, Cooney, Higgins, they can come through the middle. And Wood ends up on the end of it. Long ball. Here's a chance for the youngster who everyone in football likes, Bontempelli.
50. Pushed him over. Coming 50 metres, pushed him over after he marked it.
So suddenly a certainty, and Bontempelli will get his first.
Well, that's costly, just giving away a 50 there. I know he's probably going to kick the goal anyway, but you don't make a certainty of it.
So the teenager kicks the Dogs' 9th. Let's go to Alan Richardson. This was Richard quarter time.
Start him in there.
Yep. He's going to go where Joey is, isn't he?
Yeah, so he'll play 6th. And it might be start him on the wing, knowing that one of these blokes will be on the wing anyway.
Yep.
And it might be the tagger comes in, gets to Griffin, and it might be Armitage going forward. That might help.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he's if he's helping us in the centre square bounce either.
Yeah.
But I don't reckon he's helping us in the centre square bounce. So
we've got to keep going with him, mate.
Cam, can you see yourself doing that? Shuffling that board around?
Just keep moving those magnets around until they work somehow. Whatever they did was working for a little bit of this quarter, Den, but Bulldogs have answered back well.
Armitage over the football, he was mentioned, so was Montagna. They referred to Joey, always nice when the coach calls you by your nickname.
Lingy, are you going to allow that sort of access when you're coaching?
You can come out and stand with me, Bolts. Always love having you out there.
No worries, mate.
Boyd, a hurried kick, only as far as Armitage. He's going beautifully in this term. That fixes him. Boyd goes out wide. Robat in pursuit of Savage, who's a bit quicker. Robat played it pretty well, caused a little confusion. Now Ray across the body. They meet at the football, comes in front to Ray, to Fisher. Great to see him back. Nunes inside the centre square. Back inside the defensive 50. Will.
Still me.
Now Dempster. Schneider's on for the short one. He'll get it now. He shows a lot of that football, though, to Pickin. That made it awkward for Schneider. Well done, Pickin. Slaps it across towards Stevens. Spins out of trouble. And passes to Murphy. Usually so good with the ball in hand. Long kick down towards full forward. Don't discount Dalhouse. He's lurking behind the pack. Campbell's over it. Dalhouse. Well, it didn't get to him. Wilk stepped between the hand passer and the intended and wrapped it up. We'll have a ball up.
Thanks, James.
Sean Dempster nearly put his teammate in hospital there. That's the true hospital kick. That one sat it on his head.
1 metre. Thanks, Billy. Thank you.
Big turnover, big chance again for the Dogs.
Well, you can't have seen the man, I don't think. I mean, I think he thought he had a few yards to himself because the kick was absolutely a hospital ball. Just going back to Alan Richardson, I saw Lindsay Gilbert. He's only been an assistant coach for a quarter of an hour. He's grayed off quickly.
1 metre, Russ.
It must do that to you, Home.
Not many escape it. Rosie's the...
Does red go grey?
Be good if you're an assistant coach at the Swans. Well, hard to move that football.
Straight up, guys.
I'm just going to ignore all of those comments.
Thank you.
Simply a yes or no. Come on.
Well, I believe red hair would go grey.
Yours.
Well played.
6 of the last 7 to the Dogs. Austin unable to control the football before the boundary line went underneath his feet.
See that match up there. We spoke about the fact the Bulldogs wouldn't want Lenny Hayes getting too much of the footy. He's only had the 6 disposals. Matty Boyd, the former skipper, the man given the task, doing a very good job at the moment.
34 points the margin. Liberatore taken down. Griffin couldn't get through. Boyd, though, creates some space, sends it wide. Morris, the veterans combining there. Bontempelli was up off his fingertips. Griffin, Cooney in the pocket. Snaps it back across the face of goal. Dalhouse over the top, Savage. And his presence enough to see the ball bounce out of bounds. So a throw in alongside the behind post. And this lead now is getting very dangerous as far as the Saints are concerned. They're caught up in the football itself, but the margin on the scoreboard has the Saints well off the pace. They need the next goal. Boyd clatters in. Montagna is with him, ball up.
Straight up, guys. Let him up. Straight up, please.
Well, you're right about that lead, then. 34 points. They wouldn't want to concede another one here. Somehow, they've just got to keep this a bit of an arm wrestle for 4 or 5 minutes and then manage to start hitting the scoreboard themselves. They give up 1 or 2 more, it's almost game over.
Somehow Ross plies the ball, but it's just going to come back again. Bob Murphy. Long penetrating kick. Bontempelli amongst all of those Saints. They win the day in the air, and then Saints, and well, suddenly Ray just slaps the ball forward. He'll charge after the football. He's just got a metre or two to contemplate things, gets a bit of coverage, and the kick is terrific at the end of Billings.
Even that, though, that kick out from Ray was under pressure, and then the mark from Billings under pressure. Bulldogs are defending well across the whole ground. St Kilda can't get their running play going. Free kick here is going to be handy. Just allow them to break a line. It'll go to Bruce, holding against Roughhead.
They're constantly under duress, aren't they, the Saints?
Yep, they've got to find a target here, though. They've got to get some efficient ball movement going forward. Just make the Dogs worry. Instead, they keep going into this sort of mode where it's backwards. Now they've used the corridor a bit. They might be out.
So Montagna combines with Dempster, and this is where it gets difficult for the Saints on the hard lead. And going hard at it, Ross couldn't take it. Picken should be able to mop up or at least flick it in the direction of Murphy. Does the latter. He gives off to Minson. Minson fumbles. Revolt, as always, desperate. Murphy goes back and helps again. Well, the new kicking style and the new way with the football. Distance shouldn't be a problem for Nick Revolt. In seasons gone by, this is right on his distance, but seemingly he's found a yard this year.
We can have a look at the free kick there. That was just Will Minson. A bit clumsy, landing in his back. It was there, so important for the skipper now.
Hasn't kicked one yet this afternoon, Nick Revolt. He's kicked 43 for the year. He's got it all right. The Saints have got another, the one they needed, back under 5 goals.
What an absolute champion this bloke is. That was a tough set shot from nearly on the boundary, 50 out, kicked his 44th goal of the season. Just a great player, great leader, great example for these young players.
Minson, uncontested, taps it down. Boyd had it momentarily, lost it. You talk about Nick Revolt. He's in wonderful form. 50 possessions, 28 marks in his last 2 games.
He's a freak, you're right. That last ruck contest then was Lenny Hayes was going to compete against Will Minson. He made the smart decision to not compete. He might have copped the knee in the face.
Well, the crowd is so supportive. He's feeling delusions of grandeur. It's grabbed down there by Austin, drives it towards the outer side, going back and taking a courageous mark, the former Dog, Darren Ray. High draft pick. Maligned player with the Dogs. Given where he was drafted, I think they expected more, but he's had a strong career. And certainly during the bad times with the Saints, has been a good player. There's Bontempelli. No, it's McRae coming away with the football. Instead, goes short to Dahlhaus. Dahlhaus drives it towards half forward, working in front. Stringer, knocked away by Delaney. Arriving at speed and swerving as Dempster. Did nicely to Gwilt. That's a good hand pass. Fisher in space, goes to half forward. On the stretch, Billings was pushed in the back. He'll get the free kick.
Billings is working his way into the game now, starting to get some footy. Handball off to Fisher.
Again, it'll be Revolt who's got plenty of pressure on him. Dogs to beat, and they all stand tall. Roughhead, he was the man that got the fist. Liberatore found Boyd, lost it in the tackle. They'll hold it in here, the Dogs.
Saints have gone up, their pressure's gone up. Tackling well. They've had 32 tackles to 14, which suggests they're putting a heap of pressure on. It also suggests that maybe they've been second to the ball a little bit, especially in that first quarter, but they've definitely lifted St Kilda.
2 goals apiece in this, the second term. The Saints searching for their third. Gwilt back it goes to Bruce. The 2 lefties now, the third, all wanting their left boot. Gwilt put it to Gilbert's hands. Ball smothered. High tackle. Dogs will get out of trouble again. You feel like they've just got to get the next, somehow, the Saints, and well, suddenly McRae, who was quiet early, just ambles down the wing.
Oh.
Terrible kick. Fisher can send the Saints deep into attack, decides not to. Ray, last week was the sun, today the lights. Had a bit of trouble, ended up working out okay. And well, the Saints just on 5 minutes to play before half-time. Go deep again. Bruce flew, Revolt manhandled, ball spills. A chance, Curran, can he kick another? The bounce is kind. Maybe he didn't need it. Maybe it went through. The Saints 2 in a row. step.
Well, St Kilda looks so much better when they go back and across and out. And here's Tom Curran snapping a good goal. He's had the job on Bob Murphy. He's kept him pretty quiet so far.
Back in the middle. Looks a lot more respectable for the Saints now. Campbell falling to the ground. Slaps it wide. Murphy. Slick hands to Cooney on the overlap. Out towards right half forward, Stevens. Bearing down was Ray. Goes back to Cooney. Running out of space. Nothing he could do there. Oh, wow. Well, I'm not sure what he's expected to do. Do you stop suddenly or do a backflip? He was 2 metres in from the line, playing the ball in front, not in possession. That's a tough call. Here's Fisher. Fisher. Short. Montagna.
Right there. That's your mark.
Lee Montagna.
St Kilda loading up with numbers on this side of the ground. They are looking to transfer it.
Revolt charging up the ground. And what a role model for these young players on both teams. I mean, we talk about some of these youngsters just trying to get into the game. Well, he demands that he gets into the game. He presents and works so hard. You can see it taking its toll there. Just works himself into the game regardless of how things are going.
Schneider, Higgins the tackler, and then Cooney gets involved again. When you're talking about Cooney doing the backflip, his just knees are so bad these days, they just
can't do it.
Too hard for him. He could plead to the umpire for degenerative knee issues.
St Kilda just setting up with a loose man, and it's Sam Fisher behind the ball, and he's had 15 touches. He's had the 14 kicks going at 100%. So he's been one of those players who's allowed St Kilda to just get back into the game a bit. His experience, ability to see the game, use the ball really well has been important. Maybe looks for the Bulldogs to start trying to man him up a little bit, round him up so that he can't have that influence off halfback.
Well, here's a chance again for the Saints. Can they make it 3 in a row? Armitage onto that left boot of his, inside 50. Revolt, he's in the right spot. And he's got those hands stretched out again, too high for Morris to deal with. And Revolt perhaps can kick his second inside about 5 minutes.
Well, is there anything else we haven't said about Nick Riewoldt? He's a champion. Armitage, 8 possessions for this quarter. He's lifted. He's been important.
That's the line.
Some of that ball use through the middle of the ground is allowing Nick Riewoldt one-on-one opportunities to take marks like that.
In line with me.
But this bloke is just an absolute star.
Yeah.
So Nick Riewoldt to make it 3 on the bounce for the Saints. Kick will disappoint him. He's a perfectionist in every sense. Margin back to 21.
Higgins suggesting they slow things down here. 3.5 minutes out from half-time. Higgins will be a free agent at the end of the season. Kicks short of the wing. Austin takes the mark. Good work at ground level by Wood. So Austin, who played 3 seasons with Carlton, I think 14 games from memory. Well, not sure what he was thinking there. Got it to Wood. He was thinking, I'll give it to Wood. So Wood hand passes across to Pickin. Pickin looks inside the forward 50. Stringer goes back hard on Savage. Loose ball. Gilbert the first to arrive. Hasn't missed a beat so far. Savage under pressure. Well done by Stringer. Kept it alive. Gilbert tries to spin his way through a tackle. Tramry was waiting with open arms. Stringer. He's hard to tackle, this guy. Oh, he's kicked another one. He's got 3. What a beauty. That's the best of them.
A bit of a mistake here by St Kilda, just not forcing the ball out of bounds or somehow holding on to it. But what about Jake Stringer? The strength to be able to get away from his St Kilda opponents. Banana through the goal. He's on fire. He's kicked the 3. He's such a talented young player. And he's on standby home.
He's on standby. Abby Gilmore, his partner is due at 3/4 time.
Any minute.
Well, probably 6 or 7 wouldn't help.
He's kicked 15 goals, 3. I think it's in the last 5 outings. So he's in sharpshooting form, 5 straight. That was back in round 18 against Essendon. And Riewoldt will try and kick his second and bring the margin back to 21, as it was pre-Stringer.
Nick, it's already been 15. It's already been 15. Stewie!
The umpire just telling Nick that 15 seconds have already gone by, but Riewoldt sticking to his routine. He's really worked on this over the years, become better and better at his goal kicking.
So the man that is the living definition of hard work and professionalism doesn't quite make the distance. Chance for McRae to mop up. Again, loves to run. This time takes the bounce, measures the kick. Looks for Bontempelli, cut off by Dempster right in front of an old teammate in Jude Bolton. Time, well, 90 seconds to play. The Saints would love another. Longer at full stretch, couldn't take it. Here's a chance. Well, taken high or just a brilliant tackle. It was the latter. He was off to the races. A goal was coming. Curran taken to ground. Terrific stuff from Wood.
Outstanding tackle. Easton Wood, that is tackling for keeps. Great work.
Well, this time Campbell does the ruck work and the defensive work, and it'll all have to happen again. Still in dangerous territory for the Dogs. What a tackle from Easton Wood.
And Curran hit the ball hard, didn't he? Some of these kids are really exciting today. We're seeing them at the best. Ross feeds it out. Schneider, Dempster, wily veteran, creates his own space, but this kick is off to the left. Seeing these guys in this sort of game, the youngsters that we featured coming in, you wonder about making a judgment call on them when you see them play Hawthorn and Sydney and Fremantle and Geelong. In this company, suddenly they're outstanding.
Yeah, that's the level they want to get to, isn't it? Yeah. To be able to play against those teams, but see them playing against their similar age players, similar matured players. Both of these teams very, very exciting, the young groups.
Well, Schneider, he's been doing it for a long time for the Saints. Stanley just getting going. Well, free kick coming back to Stanley. Darley, you heard the umpire catching Stanley high. So 30 seconds to play, and again they go to the man with the blonde hair this time. Murphy did the defensive work, did just enough without doing too much. Higgins to Liberatore, hard to believe. Well, here's a chance. Ross onto the left boot. Ross gets the one they're searching for just before half-time.
That was brilliant finish by Seb Ross. He had no time at all to kick that goal. Thought he was going to give off the handball for a second. Have another look at it here. Just really good pressure around the ball. Cut it off. No time at all on the left foot. Great finish. So important leading into half-time. Only the 13 seconds to go. Just gives them that bit of hope, bit of belief coming into the second half that they can chase this lead down.
Well, 34 points is back to 20. In modern day football, very manageable. The assignment was getting difficult. They were on the ropes early, the Saints, but they certainly have been knocked out. Lenny Hayes, who many have come to watch play, gets the ball out. Rovac sharks of football. Terrific stuff from Ross. He was a goal kicker moments ago. He's the goal stopper potentially there, and quickly into the hands of Schneider. A good last few minutes for the St Kilda Football Club.
Really good way to finish. Well done, Saints. Big, big second half of footy coming up. It's 20 points the difference here at Etihad Stadium.
The inside 50s were 17-8, and also their tackling intensity 21-11. So for Brendan McCartney's team, they just need to really adjust when they sense that momentum shift. They need to put more defensive pressure on. They need to really work hard as a team, and that's what he was really speaking to the leaders about in that quarter time, the halftime break.
Thanks, Jude. See Lenny Hayes there in his last home game in front of the Saints fans. Great line from Greg Baum during the week, Lenny. He said about Lenny, he's played in Nicky Winmar's Guernsey and with Robert Harvey's spirit. Pretty much sums up the man.
Yes, that is very, very well put by Greg. What a champion Lenny Hayes is. He said if he plays the rest of the year, he'll reach 297 games. And what a career it's been. He would love to have a win here today. His last home game in his beloved Saints jersey. But they're going to need to really have a massive third quarter if they're going to have that win for Lenny Hayes. It was a good turnaround. Bolts just spoke about it then, the fact that they restricted the Bulldogs to just the 8 inside 50s in that second quarter after conceding 20 in the first quarter. They're going to have to do it again, but they're also going to have to make sure they generate scores. They finished that second quarter well with the Ross goal. They need to now pile on a couple more just to put a few doubts in the Bulldogs players' heads.
Margin 20 points then, starting the second half, and a good bounce. Longer, maybe. No, Minson won it. Hayes stole it. Armitage, very good in the second term. Runs to the 50. He could kick this. Long one down towards full forward. Bruce is going back. Wayward kick. Bruce couldn't reach it. So, not a good result. He's going at goal, I'm sure.
Would have been the perfect start to the quarter. We said they need to kick a couple early to put some doubts in. That would have been ideal for the Saints.
Higgins told to play on, kicks it outside the defensive 50. Dangerous spot to put it. Morris did brilliantly when you consider the quality of opposition. Revolt just lurking, but Morris, strong hands. Right half back, the veteran. Short, Griffin.
Thanks, Matt.
So the skipper down in front of our commentary position.
Move it on. Play on.
Told to go. Ambles forward, hugs the line. Behind Campbell, gave a contest. Spills, bounced on its point. It's barracking for Lenny. Outside of the boot, Weller taken down by Griffin. We'll have a ball up, I would imagine. Umpire circling. He's reluctant to make a call on this.
Western Bulldogs. Let him up. Drag the ball in, Mav. Wait there, Lee.
Well, the explanation was there to Maverick Weller. Picking Cooney, who's been so impressive after 4 and 7 in terms of disposals in recent weeks. Chance for Cramery. He's going to work onto his right boot. Will come back to his left. Decides he can't get to his boot. Went looking for Liberatore. Armitage. Heavy pressure. Gilbert. Terrific return game. Breaks the tackle. Runs the wing. Here's Revolt with Morris. Morris did enough. And allows Murphy to go back and get an easy football. He can retreat onto the left. Doesn't matter which side for Murphy. Normally finds the target. Austin can come back inside to Boyd. So the old Dogs surrounded by young pups. Picken.
Play on you.
Over the top he goes. And now to Eastonwood. Driving ball inside 50. Cramery watched on. Stringer can go back and kick another. Stringer. He just gets tripped, held, kicks the goal. Advantage called. Another to Stringer. His 4th for the afternoon.
Jake Stringer again, just so clever. The little push off Fisher initially, and then the strength. He's got a mature body where he's really hard to tackle to the ground, to stand up. He was probably going to get the free kick anyway for the legging, the tripping. But finished off, geez, having a massive day. Huge influence on this game, 4 goals already.
Stephen with the run of the football after it seemed the Dogs' ball, although getting back in front there and tracking it across the line was Liberatore. So interesting battle. Higgins came in initially off the line of the square at the first touch. Neither side winning a clean ball that time. Minson and Longer, they've gone at it all day long. Longer, Stephen went to ground very early. Longer dives in after it. Liberatore rolling in the other direction. A lot of appealing, and the umpire this time will ball it up.
Thanks, Lee.
Interesting about Stringer, 12-2 in his last 4 weeks.
Come back.
Really does hint at something starting to happen there. Something good as far as the Western Bulldogs are concerned. I really like their list. Just missing a couple of key ingredients, but I reckon they could be a top 4 team in about 5 years.
I think you're right, Dan. That's what they're building towards. And I think what you'll find with Stringer too is he gets a little bit more conditioning under his belt, a few more pre-seasons. He'll be able to spend time in the midfield as well. He'll be one of those players who can be so dangerous up forward as he's been today, but he'll also have bursts on ball and provide a lot of drive through the middle.
Stephen ducks and weaves, combined early with Nunes there and sends it back down the line in the end. Griffin read it well on the flight. Quickly they're away again here. Higgins, whose body's looked after him this year. Over the top, well, pressure was put on McRae. Revolt did enough. Armitage got tackled by McRae after the ball was knocked away from him, and Revolt's 2nd and 3rd efforts, as always, terrific.
Yeah, strong contest through the middle there. You see the tackle numbers, though. St Kilda well up in the tackle numbers, but I think that's been because the Bulldogs have got their hands on the footy more. St Kilda trying to put the pressure on. Sometimes you can tackle a lot more when the opposition's winning the ball.
Hayes got the handball away as he was being tackled to Gwilt. He's going to get it again here. So Hayes, listen to the cheers as the veteran sends the ball. He was hoping for the youngster in Stanley, top of the arms and rough it. He can repel for the Dogs. Just looking at some old tapes of Lenny Hayes. His debut game in '99 set the tone. Steamrolled by Archer. Most of us would have curled up and died in the corner. He shook his head, dusted himself off and went searching for the next contest. And it's been like that for 16 years.
Austin told to play on. That was at the neutral venue, I think, up in Sydney, wasn't it? One of those.
Apparently Glenn Archer's wife had a go at him that night and said that Lenny seems like a nice guy. Archer's never lived it down.
Inside the forward 50, Revolt from behind. Another scramble. Bruce trying to move the pack, didn't succeed. Ball up.
Of course, the story came out recently about a potential trade after Lenny's first year with our man downstairs, Jude Bolton. Get Bolts back to Victoria and Lenny back to New South Wales.
St. Kilda.
I think both those clubs did all right there, Bolts.
I was a Saints supporter as a kid, mate, and yeah, certainly Lenny was a New South Wales boy, but no, I was pretty happy with it, mate.
Important kick coming up here. Schneider, no, he's not going to take it. He still might finish up with it. Longer got the free. Schneider, does he kick the goal? Yes, he does. Pretty lax as far as the Bulldogs were concerned.
See where the free kick came from. Gee, it was just high, but we don't get to see it there. Adam Schneider just hanging around longer. I think the doggies had to be onto that one a bit quicker. Schneider was always going to want the little handball, but fantastic finish. Keeps them in the game.
Well, you know, it was Billings who went low and maybe caught himself high, was motionless for a moment, back up onto his feet. Goal apiece in this third term. Stringer and Schneider, the goal scorers, back to 19 points. Longer and Minson, they've battled manfully all day. Somehow Ross ends up with the football, gives it off to Ray. Another chance for the Saints. Revolt deep. In the end, Morris used his body pretty well.
Gee, Dale Morris is a good player too. I know we've pumped up Nick Riewoldt a lot, and deservedly so, but Morris, he's always undersized as a defender down there, uses his body so well, so clever, and fighting back from that terrible broken leg. Just a terrific footballer.
Back, I think it was round 21 against Essendon in 2011. Seems a long time ago. So much rehab and water's gone under the bridge. Morris has been such a resolute defender. Armitage, not 15, gets pinged. Well, it's going to be hard to move through three dogs.
Armitage bluffing there. Couldn't have possibly thought it was 15. Straight up in the air. Over the top, third man up. Bontempelli knocked it down. Higgins getting busy. Kicks to midfield. Cooney, wonderful balance. Heard the voice. McRae at close quarters to Dalhouse. Dalhouse goes down towards half forward. There's that man again, Stringer. Untackleable today. To Stevens. To Cooney, who's through. Cooney lines up on goal and nails it. That's impressive. He's got 3.
How about that? For just so clever by Adam Cooney, the little touch, and then this has got to warm the hearts of Dogs fans. Just had the jets on there, that power running that he does when he's at his absolute best. Great finish. He's kicked 3, been so good today.
He's found some form today. 200 games a while ago looked as if it would be a stretch. Now 250, the next milestone for Cooney. Ross provides a bit of shelter in the end for Stephen. Just cruises on through, gets away from Daly, kicks before Higgins can make any sort of an indent. Revolt not quite. Curran's kicked a couple already. Minson to Murphy under some sort of pressure. Weller couldn't pin him down, and then Murphy with a terrific little ball. Didn't quite go 15. Called to play on Boyd. To Higgins, back to Boyd. Higgins again with plenty to do. Griffin under pressure. Revolt will just bear down. Big tackle. The Saints, they're getting a little ferocious now. They need the next. Schneider's already got one in this term. Weller, back it comes. Montagna, quick kick. Who's in the goal square? Roughhead couldn't take it. Yes, he could.
Good mark, wasn't it? And that was a do-it-for-Lenny moment, wasn't it? The Saints were going in willingly. So a lot on the line in terms of their own self-respect here for the Saints. They're finding a bit. Bontempelli out of the back pocket. High ball towards the wing. Dempster reaches over the top. Knocks it away from Minson. Nunes falling to the ground. Fed Ray. Dempster. Now Ray looks towards the middle. Calls that jam off. Goes back to Gwilt. Controlled it. Dalhouse eventually got to him. Dempster under pressure. Quick hands. Nunes. Good pressure from the Dogs there too. And we're back where we started. Roughhead.
Sets Murphy away. Huge afternoon last weekend. Through the middle they come. They've got plenty of numbers. McRae takes a bounce. Might have time for a second. Well, he sees a man in set 50, and the delivery is perfect. Stevens can go back and kick a goal.
As soon as that mark was taken by Roughhead, the Bulldogs were out. St Kilda, they battled so hard as that ball went forward. They were all ball watching, weren't looking at where the potential exits were for the Dogs, and they were queued up in the middle of the ground. Very, very fast transition, and you're no chance as a defender when the ball's coming down like that.
Kick 12 for the year, Stevens. Hasn't kicked one since round 15. Distance, no problem. How's the accuracy? Little shuffle from Chelsea. One behind.
There's Schneider in the back pocket then. Goal in this term. Along the boundary. Ray. Told to go. Doesn't have to. Isn't going to. Oh, and then kicks into the man on the mark. Came back his way. He slaps it forward. They got him that time, Stringer. Ball squirts out of there. Head down. Nunes is taken high. Will get the free kick against Picken. Saints and the Bulldogs going at it in this third term. Will it get to Stephen in time? Well, that was interesting by Dalhouse. Too high, but the mark was taken anyway. Dalhouse just floating across, hoping to make contact.
Oh, there, Dale.
Hoping to disrupt that marking opportunity.
They're finding it difficult to move the ball, though, here, St Kilda.
Yeah.
Very slow.
Ross. Delaney. So he's at left half back.
Thank you.
So the Dogs got out to a 34-point lead. The Saints on a couple of occasions have got it back to 19. Stands right now at 26.
Move it on. Play on.
Stringer's had some sort of afternoon. We've already mentioned his partner just waiting to give birth to their first. Wilt punches it inside 50. No one really at home for the Saints. Easy pickings in the end from Roughhead. Roughhead sends it back to the wing. Pickens got to wait. Lenny Hayes will bear down. The fist from behind knocked it out. Campbell picked it up. Rovat with lots of speed. Former captain of the Northern Knights goes searching for Dalhouse. He's hard ridden by Fisher. In the back, Dalhouse will end up with a football.
Boys, the Saints will make their sub right now. Brodie Murdoch will come on and Josh Bruce has gone off. Looks like a lower leg injury at this stage.
Move it on.
Brodie's brother last night, Lingy. Good for the Cats. Stringer sets himself, not quite. Josh Bruce just hands and knees. Stringer kept his, kicks towards goal. How's the bounce? Once, twice. Nunes gets there.
Already 31 possessions in this game. Remember earlier in the season, the Dockers got 4 for a match. Ebbs and flows. Ball goes towards the outer side. Does make you wonder, though. Ball goes out of bounds and we'll have a throw in. 80 plays 53. 13th meeting, or rather, yes, it is the 13th meeting in their last 15 between these two clubs here at Etihad Stadium. The other two, and a lot of people forget this, preliminary finals in 09 and 10. Campbell, Liberatore under pressure. Cramry didn't put the arms up. Could have almost been a Saints free. Rovat, like his game, waits. The release was perfect. The kick was also pretty good. No, it bounced according to the umpire. So as a result, we'll have a ball up.
Big Will disagrees, Sten.
Oh, I think I'm big.
I agree with Will.
Man. Yeah, I'm with him.
Well, the ball in now in McRae's hands, taken high, no.
Oh, tackle! Last one, let it go, let it go. Come on, let it go.
We heard Michael Frito yesterday arguing with umpires. Will Minson, a shorter conversation, but equally as passionate.
They don't change their mind too often, though, Home.
Umpires have it Furley and Squilly on their side. Across the face, bounces out. Cramry chases, knew it was out, thought he might get away with something.
Craig, go, mate.
So the Saints, as we've said a couple of times, need the next. The Bulldogs won the last encounter between these two sides, but it was the Saints that won the previous 8. Dogs right now, the game on their terms. Darley back inside to Murphy with that dash. Back he goes. Chance for Morris to pick off someone inside 50. Tough for all the forwards. Campbell flies out the back. Stringer, can he kick a fifth? Picks it off, gives it back to Cooney. Nunes intercepts.
Well, the Bulldogs are doing it well. They're just owning the ball in their half of the ground. It's chewing up the clock. It's putting a lot of pressure on St Kilda. Somehow the Saints have got to fight their way through this. Not concede a goal. Get it back up the other end. Just work out a way to score.
Campbell trying to direct it down behind. Ross scuffs the ball forward. Griffin could have been taken high there. McRae nicely done. Higgins, I think he's kicked the goal. He was the man who passed it to Minson moments ago. It was ruled a half volley, so he does it himself.
The Saints have to tighten up at stoppage situations. The Bulldogs average 29 points. This takes another goal here from Higgins. Takes it to 7 goals, 1 from stoppages.
So the margin out to almost a game high was 34 points earlier in the afternoon, back to 33 now. Liberatore, the quick give, terrific. Wood can just turn around and punch the ball forward. Pitch, he'll be happy to see the boundary. Hard to think being a Brownlow medalist is side one better than himself. Liberatore is becoming some sort of a footballer.
It's very true. I love the way Liberatore goes about it. He gets a lot of attention. He's got Armitage all over him now, but somehow he just works his way to the contest, proudly following his father's footsteps.
Well, in the end, Gilbert, he's had some sort of an afternoon, takes another mark. He was prolific early, I think 12 now for the afternoon for Gilbert. The Saints still under some sort of a pressure. Morris, it's taken a ground by Nunes, and illegally so.
No advantage.
Yeah, that St Kilda defence is just under the pump now, giving away free kicks there, Nunes. It feels like this whole quarter's just been played in the Dogs' half of the ground.
Well, Minson drifts down forward, provides some height.
And that's what happens, Home. A couple of free kicks there. This one to Kobe Stevens. You just start panicking. You start looking for the body and reaching. And the free kicks come from that. Bulldogs just building the pressure. Gee, I'm not sure there was a hell of a lot in it, but he was reaching around the hips of Stevens. As soon as the umpire sees that, he's going to look to pay a free kick.
It's always a giveaway when all the players look to the umpire and wait to see which way he gives the free kick. Stevens, 2 behinds for the afternoon. Well, he adds to it. 3 behinds now, so disappointing when we're called upon. Kobe Stevens to kick majors. Equal game high, 34-point lead to the Dogs.
Look at the coach said it all. Now in his 3rd season, Brendan McCartney. Won 5 in 2012, 8 last season, including 4 of their last 6. Looking for win number 7 this afternoon. Ray goes to the pocket. This is Montagna. Plays on into Mines. Follows his first thought. Goes to a champion. Why not? Rebolt did enough. Halved the contest. Now Dempster's running the outer side wing. Close to the boundary line, sends a long ball down towards Murdoch, who reaches over the top, knocks it away from Wood. Wood recovered best, though, favoured by the bounce. Roughhead in trouble. Wilt bearing down. Austin. And now Pickin. Plenty of time. Just chips to the opposite back pocket. Morris had a good game.
Right there. Play on.
But the Saints tighten up. It's man on man in all positions. Oh, well done, Stevens, though. Stepped around Fisher. Fisher, very good first half, but Stevens, the master that time, taking the mark. Told to go again. Sends it beyond the wing. Campbell's the target. Big fella got hands to it. Bontempelli's away.
Push to the back. It was as she kicked it.
Up to 35 free kicks now. This is not a criticism, you understand, Haim. It's just...
No, just commentary.
It's just
observations.
Just the difference from early in the season, isn't it? You could take a machete out there in the first few rounds.
Interesting, the free kicks last night heavily weighed in the favour of the Cats. Big numbers too. Lengy as Revolt flies out the back and Delaney goes back to Revolt.
Yeah, massive numbers last night in the free kicks. Of course, Haim, every single one of them was there. We wouldn't suggest anything otherwise when we're talking about the Cats, but no, I think it's definitely been a bit of a focus I've noticed in the last couple of days. There are a lot more free kicks. If they're there, that's great, pay them, as long as they're not inventing them.
Ross goes searching for territory. Awkward bounce for Griffin, might just favour Murphy, who drifts out the back. Well, Griffin couldn't get hands onto it. Stevens picked it up, and then the don't argue.
High fend off, St Kilda. High fend off. High fend off. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks.
Yeah, you can see the forearm to the head of Weller, who doesn't look in great shape, but he's going to take the kick.
In real time, there was not much Kobe could have done other than try and protect himself, was there?
And I'd give him a big rap. That was some of the quickest thinking I've seen for a long time. He knew exactly where he was headed. That was instinctive, but gee, it was good. Here's Ray. Goes down to the pocket. Wilt just peels off his man and does well. He moved Roughhead a little too easily there. So the defender finds himself deep. Even deeper now.
That's your line now.
In the forward pocket.
Mark's here.
He's got a chair and a man on the mark to contend with. This will take his best effort. It's on the way. Can he work it back? A la Bunny. You bet he can. He's got it to go right to left. That's a wonderful kick. Get him on the forward line. Oh, he is.
That is a remarkable kick for goal. Great goal. Great work, Will.
Just superb execution from a man that doesn't often drift forward. Third goal for the year, 22nd in a 124-game career. And here he's again. Just dishes up this time to Darley. And McRae, as he so often does, looks for his left boot, finds his man.
Well, he's pretty happy with the shot at goal. He stayed forward, so he's decided, you know what, I can do this. Everyone else is missing goals. I'll stay forward and kick a couple more.
Play on, play on, play on! Me.
Well, Ruffhead, perfect delivery from Murphy. McRae started quietly, Lingy, as he started to work his way back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had the 7 touches this quarter. He's up to 13. It's a good sign. The game's always not going to go your way. As a young player, you've got to work your way into the game. That's exactly what he's done. So this will be a great learning experience for him as well.
Well, Dempster read that perfectly. Flew in between Dogs and strong hands. Longer chose him, but he's got 3 dogs to beat Armitage. Well, again, the Sharon unkind.
Well, lucky the Dogs there. 3 guys up. And the ball bounced out of bounds, so did them a favour. 87 plays 59. Minson props in front. Backhands it down. Montagna in a tight squeeze, only as far as Darley. Now they can break to the outer side, or will he come back this way? Well, it's pretty congested on this side. Austin's got it. Liberatore wants it in short. And we'll get to him. No, it won't. Montagna did brilliantly. Stepped around him, knocked it down. Curran spots a man. Short goes to Billings in the pocket. It's going to be a free kick. Well, it's been called a free kick to Montagna, but the mark will stand to Billings. Most unlike Liberatore to wait there. Obviously didn't realise he was hot. Montagna came storming in. So Billings, can he do what Wilt did? No, he can't. Slides it across the face of goal, off hands and through for a minor score. We're talking about father and son, the Liberatores. Young Tom's having a terrific season. I was just thinking, different skill set to the Admirals.
Very different, but well, I won't say just as effective, but they're certainly extremely effective. Tough, hard, quality ball winners. 2 competitive players, both of them, Tom and Tony.
Well, McRae, he's got a couple to deal with.
Come on, straight up, let him up. Nothing silly, let him up now.
Liberatore hasn't put a foot wrong, has he, since that club suspension?
1 metre up.
He's hardly missed a game and hardly missed a beat.
Quality young man. He learnt from that. Very important life lesson for him, and he's got on with it. He's made every post a winner since. Good on him.
Well, Bontempelli does it all over the ground at the moment. He's defending resolutely. So too, Boyd underneath all of that. Stephen coming off that best and fairest use, missed 5 this year with injury this time. Well, he's going to get an opportunity, Stephen.
Dived on it and dragged it in.
Well, how good would this be? Lenny Hayes in front of his adoring fans. Will kick from just inside 50. This will just about burst the roof off, Dan.
Well, this would be something else. The crowd will say everything about the man that we all love to watch play footy. He has been a great advertisement and salesman of the game, whilst also being a wonderful statesman of it. And, well, Joey Montagna said last weekend, didn't matter where you were in the world, if you're with Lenny, everything was all right. Your wife would ring you and say, where are you? I'm out. Is Lenny there? Yes. Well, that's okay.
Oh, that sums him up beautifully, doesn't it, Home?
Well, it'll be a sad day when you look in the St Kilda record and he's not there anymore. He's not on the list.
And equally important, they're back in the game, aren't they? The margin had got out over 30. Now it's back to just 21. Wonderful kick. A couple of great goals in the last 5 minutes for the Saints. Wilt, and more recently, Hayes. Boyd's over the football, didn't have it. He'll get a free kick. But I heard a whistle. Play on's the call. Weller just walks into a waiting tackle. So ball up alongside the centre circles. 87 plays 66. Just over a minute remaining in the term. Stanley knocks it down. Hayes did well. Sent Armitage into space. Gave it to Murdoch. It was blanketed effectively by Griffin. Stolen away there nicely by Higgins. There's Cramry. Comes to Robat. Robat goes back to Cramry. Left foot couldn't get him out of trouble. Accelerating through Robat. They're going around in circles. Murphy coming off 32 possessions last week. Getting busy again now. Brilliant pick up by Bontempelli. Down goes Higgins. He was taken home. He'll get the free kick.
Accidental contact there from Hayes. Nothing in that, just the free kick.
So just seconds to play before three-quarter time, and the Dogs can hurt the Saints here. Rough head over the top. He's got a leading Stevens in the end. It just bounces into the hands of Boyd, whose quick kick won't go the journey. Campbell is there. Delaney gets a fist onto it. Stringer looking for a fifth. Doesn't shoot at goal. Just puts it into space and finds Minson, who lets Stringer down. Quickly he gives the ball off. Cooney's there. Boyd a second chance. Smothered by Savage. Minson to Cooney again. This time on his left boot. Again as it got the journey. Delaney last line. Whew. Well, 21 points the margin. It was 20 at half-time. Big last 30 minutes coming up. Lenny Hayes, the last time, a home game as a Saint. That is umpire Cam.
It certainly is. Bit of traffic there. Just a couple of words to the umpire, Shane Savage, asking a few questions.
All pretty easy from up here, isn't it? That is Majak Dor, suspected broken leg, not confirmed at this point, playing for Werribee against Footscray. So if we hear more, we will let you know, but taken to hospital in an ambulance. Let's go back to the last goal of the third term. Lenny Hayes. Well, reminiscent of that grand final from his full measure. And there was a big noise around the place. The margin now at three-quarter time is 22 points. It was 19 on a number of occasions during that third term. Let's go back down to Jude.
Well, what an incredible moment when Lenny Hayes got that free kick. It was a standing ovation down here from all the Saints supporters. If they're to get back in this game, 22 points down, they need to be aggressive through the middle. Certainly Joey Montagna, he had 8 possessions that quarter. He was terrific. But the Bulldogs, McRae, he had 7. Higgins, he had about 10 possessions that quarter. So it's really set up for a great contest this last term.
Hey, what I want here, boys, is I want some speed. Yep. So as soon as Montagna got going, we look much better in around here. Yep. We need some speed getting to the loose ball in here.
Well, our thanks to the St Kilda coach there, Alan Richardson, for the access. That's terrific, taking you inside the huddle. And this is set for a big finish. Sean Higgins leads all comers with 21 possessions. Jake Stringer has 4 goals. His career high is 5 against the Bombers. So every time the Western Bulldogs have threatened to blow this game apart, they've been unable to, Cam.
They have. It's been very resilient by the Saints, but they need the first couple of goals. They need to give that forward line a bit of a chance to kick a couple and put some pressure on the Bulldogs. Adam Cooney's been terrific today, but listening to Alan Richardson there, just talking about a bit of speed through the middle of the ground is what they're after. Joey Montagna, important in that third quarter. Have Jack Stevens up on the wing. He's quick. Maverick Weller in the middle at the moment, but just organising things. Now he's heading back into the middle, so they want him playing in there. A bit slow to organise exactly what they're doing in the middle part of the ground. St Kilda, they need to be able to take the game on. They need that speed. That's what the coaches are looking for.
Final term, Etihad Stadium. Good bounce to start proceedings. Minson on the way down. Montagna goes back and finds it. Hooks towards half forward. Morris goes back with courage, takes the mark. Pick and moves for him. And he finds him now on the wing. Liberatore, the next link in the chain. Now he's closed down by Schneider. So he goes shorter. And this is Stevens. So testing time for both these young clubs right here. 22 points the difference. First goal essential. They've been stressed by both the coaches.
Right there, Nick, right there.
There's Morris again.
Dale Morris was outstanding in that third quarter. He had the 6 possessions, kept Riewoldt to just the 1. So Riewolt's got to work out a way now to get back on top
Well, that's an interesting kick. And the man on the mark, way back where he kicked it from Morris, that's Revolt, is appealing for deliberate. Actually, Boyd was on in the middle, but it was too awkward for Morris to come back around and kick it to him.
So the margin 22. Dogs fans hoping the Dogs can hold on. Those that like a fairy tale finish, hoping
St.Kilda, arms over his shoulder.
the Saints can find a way. Lenny Hayes' last game at Etihad Stadium, second last in Victoria. The Hayes farewell tour heads to Adelaide and also to Sydney. Weller, long ball, Revolt gets caught behind Morris. Not quite. Easton Wood, he read it pretty well in the end, just got rid of a couple of would-be tacklers. To Cooney, to Higgins, who should have the pace to outrun Longer. Now to half forward. Campbell with the height, not quite. Delaney knocked it away. In the end, Stringer, who's had some sort of an afternoon, handballs, but Gilbert on return. Intercepts again, goes deep for the Saints. Gwilt was going to become a goal kicker, won't get his hands on the football quite yet. Over the top into the hands of Gwilt now, though. Can he kick a second? He'll run into an open goal. His first was brilliant. His second will do.
Reece Stanley off the ground as a result of that clash. Holding his shoulder very gingerly, his left shoulder. Hopefully he's okay. Straight into the rooms. Minson and Longer. Neither ruckman touched the ball. Fell behind them. Liberatore had it. Reaching in Hayes, nothing doing.
It's exactly what the Saints needed then to start this quarter. A goal straight on the board at 16 points.
This would be a great victory, wouldn't it? This game has been gone several times this afternoon for the Saints. If they could reach in and pull it back out and win. Here's Bontempelli with other ideas. Goes inside the forward 50. Gilbert's been stellar back there. Onto the loose ball. Clever kick too coming out. He's a big body, Gilbert, and he moves quickly. And generally a reliable kick. That was excellent to Nunes. Along the boundary line to Montagna. Signs are good for St Kilda right now. Playing with confidence. And the ball in good hands. Lee Montagna sends a high ball down towards half forward. Wilt at the back, has the run. Up he goes, got hands to it. Dalhouse finds a way through, slips a hand pass to Boyd. Cleverly played to Darley. Good vision by Darley around the corner. Cooney looking to unload, comes to Bontempelli. Bontempelli, no one comes at him, so he splits the difference. Goes long inside the forward 50. Drifting back down there, knocking the ball down was Fisher. That was not the best effort from Fisher. Lacked a little conviction, and they're lucky to get away with the force behind.
Well, the St Kilda train chugging along again. 34 points at one point. Back right now to 17, and it's in the manageable department.
Yeah, 17 points, that can be overcome in modern football pretty quickly. Bulldogs have been defending well, though. The Saints have just got to keep attacking the game. Great grab by Big Will Minson.
Well, Minson read it like you'd seen it all happen before, got into position, and strong hands, works it back inside. Crameri not with strong hands. Bontempelli sharks it again to the top of the square. He goes, not quite for the Dogs. Well, in the end, Dempster collared. Well done, Dalhouse. Stringer almost in the air moments ago. He could have been lining up for 5, not to be in the Saints.
Reece Stanley's come back out of the rooms just there, boys. He looks like it might have just been a stinger. He looks all right.
Need to weather the storm here, the Saints. The Dogs. Another might just be costly. Campbell to space. Benefits Armitage. Goes wide to Ray. He's got the skipper chasing him. Puts it onto the left boot. To the wing it goes. Austin will be there. He'll hope for the boundary line. In the end, it should be Darley, the former Giant, or make it Roughhead, who gets hold of the football and goes back to Austin. Austin now. Well, Savage stood his ground. Bontempelli attacked the football. Ray caught underneath a couple. Savage lost it. Bontempelli got it and gave it to Griffin. Now Griffin just sizes things up, sees the tall man Campbell. Gilbert comes, overcommitted. Cramery's missed. Can you believe it from point-blank range?
Should have finished with a goal there, Cramery. How good was Marcus Bontempelli? Back in a 50-50 situation, just ripped the ball out of the contest, got the handball across to Griffin. He does not fumble, that kid. He is so clean with his hands. Wasted chance there by Cramery to almost seal the game.
There's Ross, goes to the outer side. Bontempelli again. Juggled attempt at the mark. 4 possessions so far in this term for him. 2 inside 50s. So he's having a moment. Here's Liberatore, just jabs it down towards half forward. Now some clear air. Kobe Stevens is away, runs to 50. Long kick, has it got the carry? I think it has. Oh, that's a big goal.
Well, Kobe Stevens hasn't had the kicking boots on today. He's kicked the 3 behinds, but that is a massive goal. An important part of the game. He loves it. His teammates love it. They're back out to 24 points, the Bulldogs.
So healthy margin again. The Saints, well, with Lenny Hayes out there, anything potentially is possible. Well, Gwilt, can he become a man that kicks 3 in the last half?
What about the roar for Lenny Hayes' sidestep? They love every part of him, and that is almost his trademark, that sidestep, shaping up the kick. Oh, beautiful.
I think they're hoping it's a John Farnham type farewell, which means he's got another 6 or 7 seasons, Lenny Hayes. Gwilt for his 3rd. Hasn't kicked multiple goals for 5 years. That was against the Dogs. A chance for 3 and to bring the margin back to 3 goals. Well, for 3 for the first time in his career, and the footy gods not with him on this occasion, not sensing the theatre.
Chance now, though, for St Kilda to lock the ball in. They can't let the easy exits here. The Saints need to just build some pressure, get another shot at goal.
Murphy to himself, runs to the pocket and drives it out towards that outer side wing. In front, Rovat knocked it down. Griffin in trouble, did well, combines with Boyd. Now they're a chance. Bontempelli gave it across towards Dalhouse. He was pushed in the back. Well, the umpires decided there was no advantage there. So as he kicked, okay, fair enough. Push in the back, good call.
He's paid it as he kicked, though, Dennis, but it's actually disadvantaged his team. If it's a free kick and he's read that it's a mark to his teammate, surely you can call play on from there, I would have thought.
You're testing me now, Cam. There goes the short one from Morris inside the 50. Rovat has had a very good afternoon, takes the mark. Up to his 16th possession. He's going to be a player too.
That's your line. Mark's here.
But at the moment, they've got a game to win, and they're no sure thing. Rovat likes himself from here, steps inside the 50. Kick is on the way. It's going to fall short. Minson in the front of the pack, off hands, live ball. Taken there by Cramry, stripped by Gilbert. That's in the back, surely.
In the back, St Kilda. Hey, let go.
Free kick to Schneider, oblivious to all the goings-on, just goes short to Billings, and the Saints are on their way.
Well, Billings was caught on his right side, which is the wrong for him. Liberatore just gets and gives McRae. The youngsters combining to Dalhouse, now to the skipper. Just the don't argue to Montagna, top of the square. Who's there for the Western Bulldogs? Stringer, manhandled by Fisher. Crammery tries to gather, tries to control, wants his left boot too. He won't get it onto it. And, well, the whistle is coming.
We talk about the 1%ers, Cam. I'm amazed in this day and age that a guy can be so left-footed. I mean, you would think full-time footballers have got to be at least halfway adept with their wrong side.
Well, you have to, Dan. I agree with you there. You just get yourself in a situation where you've got to use it.
So defensive prowess required here from the Saints. They can't concede another of this. Comeback is going to come to fruition for Lenny Hayes. They need 4 goals, and right now it's the Dogs who have got a chance to put a dagger in the heart.
Yeah, this could be a costly one.
Clear it out.
Didn't look to be much in it, just falling in his back. It was definitely there.
Mark's just here.
Yeah, it's a push in the back. Savage just a touch clumsy.
Just take it out.
And that hurts from a contested situation like that, where you're trying to bottle it up to then give a free kick away. An easy set shot at goal from McRae.
Hasn't scored at all this afternoon. He's put a major through for the Bulldogs. More breathing space. 29 points the margin now. Time against the Saints. Let's hear from Alan Richardson at 3/4 time.
But trying, so Roughhead's marked 3 of our kicks. Quilty, that's going to be part of your job, to make sure that you are relevant. So if there's no pressure, leave. If there's pressure on the kick, don't leave. Make sure that we've got a real good contest there.
Well, he's done it, Gwilt. He's been dangerous when he's gone forward, and he used the term, you've got to make yourself relevant. That means you've got to get yourself into dangerous parts of the forward line so that Roughhead has to play on him and can't just come off and help out his teammates. Bolts, we've got a sub down on the bench for the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs have made their sub. Lockie Hunter's come on, and Rovat's down off, boys.
10 different goal scorers now for the Dogs this afternoon. Over the top, Longer. Campbell's been okay. Liberatore. High ball inside the forward 50. Gilbert stays off, and the mark is taken in front, almost uncontested by Cramry. So this could just about do it. Cramry, a I'm sure he expected more pressure than this.
Echelon short marks here. Short
Gilbert a step away from being able to do something about that. A little reluctant to come. He's kicked 1-3 this afternoon, Crameri. Will this put down the resistance? Well, going on what we've seen, it may not.
Bye, guys.
Well, you come to a new club like Stuart Crameri has, 30 goals for the season now. I think that's a good return. I think you look to build on that as the years go by, but as you get to know your teammates, get to understand the way they play, it can be tough, but to finish with 30 goals, well, not finished yet, to have 30 goals to this point in the season, well done by Stuart Crameri.
The attacks of football again.
St.Kilda, 15.
But the Saints will end up with the football, and Bontempelli, the man that got it out of the middle for the Western Bulldogs, growing week by week. Nunes back with a flight with courage. Dalhouse got there too. Forced the contest. Crameri sweeps the ball back into the hands of Dalhouse. Well, he gave that ball plenty of air, made it really tough in the end, and the Dogs, though, through McRae, win the football back. Crameri now, high up and under. Tough for any forward anywhere around the world. Oh, Bontempelli continues to grow in stature, continues to impress.
Well, Hayne, we saw Nat Fyfe take a big mark last night down at Simmons Stadium when he goes forward. That's why he's in the upper echelon of midfielders in the comp. Fyfe. I reckon this bloke here is going to be that type of player as well. Just a gun through the midfield eventually, but he'll be able to take marks, be a dangerous option when he's down there. And if he adds goal kicking to his repertoire, he will become an absolute star, this bloke.
Well, we've seen him do some mercurial things in his first year of football against Collingwood. He was enormous, earned himself a Rising Star nomination across the face on this occasion, but he is some sort of a player. 7 touches in this final term.
We touched on the fact that he's 192 centimetres, 1 centimetre shorter than Nick Riewoldt, key position player. It's a remarkable build for a midfielder.
Dempster kicks it straight to Wood, as it turned out, lurking behind the pack. As it crossed the ground. Morris, resolute again today, knows no other way. Austin, right across to Darley.
Hold there, yep. Hold.
Plenty of space up ahead of Darley for someone to run to. But Murphy comes back to him and takes the mark. Eventually, a runner who started across half forward, Pickin, gets the ball on the wing.
What about the discrepancy in the disposal count this quarter? 51 to 19. Bulldogs' way. That's huge. They just haven't been able to get their hands on the footy at all. The Saints, the Doggies, completely controlling it. And now that's all they're doing now, is they're just taking a bit of time off the clock, making the Saints chase them defensively. The game's in their hands.
Stevens, who kicked a very important goal earlier in this term. Oh, gee, whiz, upended there was Dalhouse. And Dalhouse is going to get a free.
So the 21-year-old again punches the ball forward. That is going to be tough for Stringer to add to his tally this afternoon. 4 goals, 1 for Stringer, 12 in the previous 3 weeks, and he's been accurate too over the last month.
He's been building towards it too. He's had 8 contested possessions in the last 2 games. He had a career high 10 contested possessions today, and as you said, 4 goals. So really building his form the more experience he gets.
Correct myself, 12 in the last 4 outings before this afternoon and 4 this afternoon. So 16 from his last 5, and well documented, Cam, during the week that the Bulldogs have been searching for a big forward, reportedly a big offer to Jonathan Patton. And well, if Stringer can hang around and they get a big forward, things will be easier for him.
Absolutely. He's never going to be that #1 big key forward. Tom Hawkins at Geelong, Travis Cloke at Collingwood. But he's going to be a very, very handy 2nd or 3rd tall option. Spend time in the midfield as well. Just so clever.
Well, Montagna to Gilbert. We've seen this run over the years. He's going to run into trouble right there. Got the ball away in the end, and the Saints, perhaps, if Ross can get onto his left boot, or in turn, handball wide. Nunes now to Hayes. Can he kick another? He's right on his measure. The sidestep. He hasn't lost a thing. This time it's smothered ball. Ricochets back, and Easton Wood can mop up. Pressure from Gwilt. Little give in the end. Hunter, who's come on, he battles against Gwilt, and it should be a halved contest.
They almost had too much time then. The Saints, Lenny Hayes, kick smothered, but they had so many numbers, they almost overcomplicated things.
Montagna sharks that knock from Campbell, goes down towards the pocket. Revolt, Curran running out of space. McRae wrestles him over the boundary line.
My ball.
36 points the difference. It was 22 at three-quarter time. No margin for error for the players here before it goes out of bounds. Well, Hunter's got other ideas, did brilliantly. Higgins had a good game. Roughhead up from half-back, looks towards half-forward. Breaking hard across the ground is Crameri. A whistle. There's going to be a free kick to the Saints, I think. Back in midfield. It will go to Dempster against Luke Dalhouse.
So the Saints, it has been a pro St Kilda crowd, and they won't get the points this afternoon, but Lenny Hayes, they've come in numbers to see a man who over 16 years has been so good for them. They'll get another opportunity for a late goal through Murdoch, but Hayes, and he's just outlasted many of his teammates and coaches and outshone so many of his peers today. Won't be a win, but he's lost no fans. Murdoch right on his measure to bring it back to a 5-goal ball game. Murdoch, like his brother, prefers the left, and well, he has just hit that flush. He's struck the ball beautifully. Another major to the Saints. Margin back to 30.
Just under 7 minutes remaining. 30 points the difference. Certainly the Dogs have dominated this final term. Freewheeling game of footy this afternoon. Really enjoyed it. McRae at the base of that pack. Sparring, Campbell and Longer.
The big fellas.
Out this way. 1 metre, Tom.
I want to get the hand on this one.
Yeah.
Campbell wins.
Got personal. McRae on his knees. That acceleration's been missing, but not today. Kearney bounces one out towards the wing. Stevens has been valuable in this last term. Boyd, well, too tall there for Liberatore. Armitage did well. Gave it to Stephen, to Montagna, to Ray. Storming past as Weller has a bounce. Griffin got him. Oh, well, almost. Stephen now should kick a goal. Wobbles it down towards full foot. It was touched. Rivold's got the football. Weller sustained his run and kicks it from 10 metres out. And the Saints maybe just a hope.
This is the expectation of the modern midfielder, just pushing hard deep. Maverick Weller follows up his good work, and just unbelievable finish right there.
Well, Liberatore gets the football given to him quickly. He goes forward, but Dempster, as he has done for a long time now as a Saint, defends and then punches the Saints forward. Longer can look inside and find a running Hayes. Hayes goes and gets a football. Longer will get the free kick.
They get another quick one here. They are every chance, St Kilda.
Is there another twist, another turn, another chapter to be written on a Sunday afternoon? 4 goals required, and then some. Inside they go. Ross doesn't like anything immediately, and then looks to Gwilt, who's become a super forward.
They couldn't, could they? The Saints?
Oh, maybe.
24 points the margin. Gwilt kicks this. We've got a 3-goal game. We could be in for a huge finish here.
We know that the football gods have got a funny sense of humour. Gwilt for 3. Gwilt's got his 3rd. Can you believe it? We're back to just 3 goals.
There's the graph. It's been enthralling all day long. Cody Stevens sitting down there with some very youthful faces. Robert in the back seat, as you can see, subbed out of the ground, or out of the game. McRae just on the ground. Stanley.
Some youthful faces, and Joel Corey looking like Forrest Gump. Hasn't shaved since he retired. Ball goes forward again. Well, Revolt will chase Morris. Morris will, well, defend or kick it out of bounds. No, defends, and Chelsea signals the behind. Inside 3 goals.
Well, this is the margin that they haven't quite been able to get over today, the Saints. They've fought hard at times to get it back to this margin. They need the next goal. I know that's stating the obvious, but they've got to get it into that stage where the big, big doubts come into the opposition heads.
Move it on.
There's Kearney. Down the line. Bontempelli hands to it, couldn't hang on. Stanley just Flipping a hand pass away to Murdoch. Murdoch, another searching kick inside the forward 50. Rebolt was the target, falls in front. Billings forced to kick with his right foot, and he's put it through. A hidden weapon. Now I am confused. And what a big finish we've got.
Oh, Dan, we've got to take back everything we were saying. He's just been playing possum. He's always had a right foot on him.
Waiting for this moment. They all went the other way.
What a goal that is for a young player. Composure in traffic, on his non-preferred, in a huge moment in the game. Great finish. Well, we're under 2 goals now. Brendan McCartney, he'll be sending out the messages, but it gets to late in this game and the coaches can't have the influence. It's got to be onto the players. Who's going to handle this situation better?
Pick a winner, Lengy.
I think I'm still with the Doggies, but I don't know right now.
Jude?
Backing the Saints, mate. 16-8, uncontested possession. 6-1 inside 50s the last few minutes.
Well, they've been down a number of times, plus 30, 34 points. They're in Charlie Sheen territory. It looked like a comeback was unlikely, but here they come again. Billings kicked the last, looks lame, hobbles towards the football. Darley, terrific stuff, gave it to Higgins, brushes one away. Inside he goes. Wood just waited, gave it back to Higgins, needs to take on Nunes, takes him on. Now to Cooney. Can he pick off a target? He's measured the kick to Hunter.
Mark's here.
It was crucial here, hard up against the boundary. St Kilda had to force Higgins and Cooney out of bounds. They couldn't let them break through. Billings there, just pulling up a little bit short. Let's hope it's only cramp and nothing more. But they had to lock those running Bulldogs players in, not give away the shot at goal.
Well, every Dogs fan wants a Hunter goal. Most football fans hoping he drifts. And he does. So the Saints alive, and in this tribute game to one of the Saints' greats, still alive.
And still plenty of time too. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. They've got to go for it, but they don't have to do anything stupid.
Margins 12 points. Gilbert, Schneider, a couple of veterans across half-back. Schneider measures the kick, bounces short of the man it was intended for. Weller clips a hand pass over the right shoulder, arriving quickly as Murphy. Seen that before. Silky left the ball behind, knew where it was though, went back and found it. Kicks deep in his own defensive area, and Stringer, 4 goals alongside his name, takes a defensive mark, comes to Roughhead. Time, the enemy of St Kilda. Still time enough to win it. But things need to go right. Dogs being forced now to a contest. High ball from Roughhead, in front Delaney. Delaney spilled it, found it again. The high one down towards half forward. They need a crummer here. Well, offhands it favours Ross. Ross is run down immediately, picked up by Hayes. Who else? Down towards full forward. Gwilt. Gwilt tracks it back. Was he held? No free kick. Wood gave it to Pickin. Comes close to the boundary. Strong mark by Fisher.
Well, the dice need to be rolled again, and they are by Fisher. Dangerous ball. In the end, Stevens was courageous. Cramery, the give good. Cooney, happy just to retreat. Needs to retain possession. The kick, cute, went through the middle, finds Cramery. 2 goals the difference, and the equation now very difficult.
Saints have got to man up every player now. They can't let them milk the clock by giving them free players. Force it long down the line and win it back in a contest.
So Hunter inside 50. Minson with the height front spot, not able to take it. Boyd at the fall of the ball. Little give, Dalhouse ducks and weaves. Quick kick. Any score will really help the Dogs here. And it trickles through in the end. Does Darley kick a goal? Oh, the bounce, so cruel if you're a Saints fan. So beautiful if you're a Dog.
That was an Angus Monfries, wasn't it?
Oh, that was just the cruelest of bounces. Any score would have made it impossible. Now it is a game the Dogs will keep. This is almost physically impossible to do, isn't it? 1. Oh.
Wow.
Hey. Whose goal is it? It might have already been through.
Well, that's very interesting, isn't it? Watch this again. He reaches... Oh, I reckon he reached across the line.
Well, either way,
still
it's a goal.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dalehouse might just be saying to Daly, I'll take that one, thanks, put that in my book.
It's like soccer when they all claim it. Liberatore over the top. Pickin. So they've held on. McRae, Stringer. Full credit to the Saints, though. They've made it nerve-wracking. Kick goes inside the forward 50. Dalhouse turns the defence around, slips it away to Cramry. Cramry deep in the pocket. He'll just pop it to the opposite pocket. Will he? No, he'll go with the outside of the boots. And that's the icing on the cake. When they had to find something, they certainly did.
Well, that's a remarkable goal by Stewie Cramry. The game is over, but that was fantastic skill from him. I reckon he was doing the right thing, looking inside, doing the team thing, thought nothing's on. I'll try the banana, and he slotted it.
I think it was a genuine look inside too. Most of them are cursory glances without any intention.
Not the standard big full forwards token look.
Well, he even thought about that man dropping off towards the opposite back pocket, I thought, too. He had a couple of looks at various things, didn't like any of it. Liked his own handiwork, I bet. That was a terrific goal.
And the Saints, after kicking 4 in a row, have the Dogs kick the last couple. And, well, it was a terrific finish from Cramry, and not the finish the Saints fans wanted here at Etihad Stadium. Perhaps something late for the Saints. Montagna can drive inside 50 again. It'll be the last roll of the dice for the Saints. Stanley can kick after the siren.
Boys on the side, I get you to push right out. Push right out, you've got to be 5 out. Liam, just up there, mate. Thanks, mate. Reese, that's the line, Mark's here. Where you are.
So the last kick of the afternoon, at best a 3-goal win to the Western Bulldogs. They've come to see Lenny and pay him tribute after 16 years of service. The last score is a minor one. Lenny remains so popular. A bleed on the wrong side of the ledger this afternoon. The Dogs, they hunt and capture 4 points.
They win by 23. Jake Stringer with 4 goals. Stuart Cramry, how many did he get? He got 3. Yes, he did. 3-3. It could have been more. And the best performance in terms of possessions out there was a man we spoke of before the game. Adam Cooney came in with a question mark hanging over him. He was terrific. 25 possessions and set the record straight.
And a really entertaining game of footy. Two good young teams going at it. Times where I thought the Bulldogs were going to run away with it. The Saints came back, and then just a bit of a frantic finish at the end there. Bob Murphy and Lenny Hayes having a chat. All the Dogs players getting across to Lenny. Every player in the competition would respect that man. He's a champion.
So the margin 27 at quarter time. The Dogs got the fast start. 7 goals in the first quarter. St Kilda pulled them back. 20 at half time. 22 at three-quarter time. And finally, a stirring last quarter. Finally, the Bulldogs prevail. They win by 23 and improve their record to 7-12. Thanks for your company.